Okay, before you click off this video, I promise this isn't a Doom post video where I point at the Steam charts and say, see? Low player counts, game dead. No, I want to discuss one of the reasons I think this game is losing players, given that it almost lost me as one fairly recently. And I like Marathon. I wanna stay with this game. But without dragging the intro out for very long, let's get into this. So, to start, I want to give a bit of context as to how this very video actually came to be. Originally, I planned on releasing a totally different Marathon video, and that video being a guide for beginners from someone as casual such as myself, and to show that everyone can thrive, pros and casuals alike. But while gathering footage for the video, that vision and the narrative was kinda crashing down around me. Raid after raid, failed extract after failed extract. My positive go-getter attitude was slowly but surely drifting away. Even when I would extract with the quote-unquote good stuff, the returns were so minuscule, it felt like those 20 minutes were a total waste of time. So I said fuck it and went to squad fill. Out of 10 games, I extracted successfully maybe once, and that was also at a loss. And after all that, I cussed the game out and Bungie as a whole and swore I'll never return to this bullshit ever again. For about 10 hours.
Fuck you, and I'll see you tomorrow! Fucking idiot!
The next morning, I decided to play once again, and even though it went more or less the same, I honestly can't say I didn't have fun. We actually did some PvP and won, and someone actually held my hand through the entire pinwheel base on Outpost. But then it hit me. Those moments were very few and far between. The highs were high, sure, but the lows hit way more, and it made me wonder, is this what most casuals felt right before closing the game for good? I usually play solo, and when I do, it's to gear up, so when I actually have friends to play, I can use all my loot on the fun part of the game. My solo experience boils down to get in, stealth my way and grab as much as I can, get out. Maybe fight an occasional assassin with a free kit. And then I look at the loot and honestly, it is very underwhelming. I didn't even break even for the medkits I had to bring in. And that's the issue I personally have with this game, the loot. When a raid with close to zero returns happens enough time, people get frustrated because they feel they just wasted their resources and even worse, their time. And at that point, if you die, it feels like an even bigger slap in the face because you know you'd barely break even, but now you lost even more. And I get it, that's what the extraction genre is like, that's the appeal. The high highs and the low lows. But the problem is, when the lowest lows are lower than the highest highs, then the player count goes low lows. I am very sorry I had to make that joke. Well, what about rook runs? They can make you millions if you know how to use them. Yeah, but expecting people to repeatedly run rook on pinwheel for hours just to get geared up doesn't really seem like a fun time in my opinion. I want to play the game, not pick up another shift at the pinwheel grinder. And I think that exactly ties into the core of my point and the entire issue. The amount of free time people have and are willing to spend on a game like this. Little factoid about me. I don't know if I said this on my channel before, but I am a college student who's finishing his degree soon and has recently started working. That means, much like many others I presume, my free time is much more limited than it used to be. Back in the beginning of college, I could drop 5 to 6 hours on a game because I had nothing better to do. Class is done, I come home, boom, game till midnight. Now after classes and additional hours of work, when I come home, both my free time, energy, and tolerance for bullshit is very limited, so I choose more carefully what I'm gonna spend it on. I could spend it on a game like Helldivers 2 or Arc Raiders, where I'm guaranteed to have a blast with the homies, or a semi-stressful grind where I'm constantly weighing risk versus reward. And I feel like a lot of people might be in the same boat as me. Why would they spend time in a game where they feel like they're constantly losing? You can shit on Arc Raiders all you want, but there's a reason people still play it. Arc understood that this genre has heavy losses and it tried to mitigate those losses with things like safe pockets, scrappy, and more varied loot. But yeah, this was my little theory of why I think people are leaving Marathon as fast as they are. I know I didn't touch on things like Cryo Archive, but I don't know what to say about it that hasn't been said already. It is difficult endgame content, not made for everyone. I personally don't like that approach, but the community accepted it, so yeah, guess some things just aren't meant for me. And before you jump me in the comments, believe it or not, I love Marathon. I don't want to see it die. Quite the opposite. I believe this game can thrive and the game has its fun moments. The issue is, you gotta invest a decent amount of time in climbing a mountain to get to those fun moments. The question is the climb worth the peak? Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. If you enjoyed this little rant of mine, leave a like, subscribe, tell me if I'm completely full of shit or if my theory actually has some weight. Until next time, runners, hopefully I'll see you on Tau Ceti, and stay safe out there.